and we released a deep safety intercom product line in 2020. And in the last year, we released one new speaker, SL50 network column speaker, and our IS-L100 server. And in this year, we launched our SQ10 square speaker and ear intercom. And the IP PBX V4 will be released soon.
Within this month.
Okay, and in the next slide, I want to introduce you about our IP audio solution. This is a communication solution providing about the paging, intercom, and the call functions. As a topology, you can see the entire solution is mainly composed of software part and hardware terminal requirement. The software part includes our IP audio center, IP audio dispatch console, and the dispatch app. And the hardware requirement includes our network speakers, our safety intercom, our paging gateways, and IP phones. Yeah, and in the next part, I will introduce about our ZYCOO's hardware products. Okay, and the first product I want to introduce to you is our IP audio server. It's the IS-L100. It's a hardware server installed the ZYCOO IP audio center system. It can provide users the auto box feature to ready to use. We launched this product in November 2021, and it can provide users another option to use our IP audio solution. Yeah, and IS support up to 100 extensions, and so it's very suitable for some small or medium-sized company or project to use. Yeah. And in the next page, I will introduce you about our network speakers.
All right, one moment, please, here. So I got some feedback that, okay, the voice not good, okay, one moment, okay. So like, let me switch the microphone input. Is it like a little bit?
Hear me better.
Is it like a little bit better now? Or it is still unclear for the voice? You use
your voice is clear, but the presenter voice is not clear.
Okay, so okay, one moment. So let me adjust the mic here. Okay,
Okay, can you guys hear me very clearly now?
Is it like better?
Yeah, maybe the person who is presenting this presentation, he feels like he's talking from far.
What about now?
We switch the mic.
This is much better now. Much better.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
What is that?
Okay, and in this part, I will introduce you our ZYCOO's network speaker. It includes our SQ10, SH30, IC15, SW15, and SL50. And the first network speaker is our SQ10 series network square speaker, which has a total of 8 models, can be selected according to different application scenarios, including 4 surface mount and 4 flash mount enclosures. The flashing LED lights can support multiple flashing methods to corresponding to different types of operation. And the LED displays time, so it eliminates the need for a separate clock system. It's very perfect to use in some scenarios like classrooms, libraries, or office. And the ZYCOO support two installation methods, including the surface mounted and the flash mounted. And our ZYCOO also support multiple peripheral integration, such as call button, alarm light, volume controller, or LCD screen. And the next speaker is our IC15 network ceiling speaker. ZYCOO IC15 network ceiling speaker is equipped with dual speaker drive units, including a low frequency driver and a high frequency driver unit, which can provide a premium sound quality. It can enhance the audience experience. And our IP audio center can auto provisioning the speakers. So in some very large scale installation scenarios, it will save a lot of effort. And the PoE was supported, so you can very easily to install the IC15. And our IC15 also support multiple terminal integration, including the call button, the alarm light, and the microphone.
Like when you're using the BM11s with the SC15, it will be able to provide you the what we call like the two-way communication speaker or the talkback speaker. So in like you're pressing the button, it will be dialing to the number that you set up from the speaker side. So that is like very helpful to using the BM11.
And the next product is our ZYCOO SW15. SW15 is our network cabinet speaker. It's an indoor speaker, which is equipped with the same speaker driver units with the IC15. And it can also support the PoE. And SW15 also supports multiple peripheral integrations such as call button, alarm light, microphone, and our BM11 button. And the next product is our network horn speaker. Our ZYCOO SH30 is a SIP-enabled horn speaker. It can support 400 Hz to 8,000 Hz frequency range and 117 decibel max sound pressure level to provide a very powerful sound output. Therefore, even if in some very noisy environment, it can provide a very clear sound. Secondly, our SH30 reached the IP65 protection, which means it has a great waterproof and dustproof performance. Therefore, it is so suitable even in some extreme environments. And thirdly, SH30 also supports auto provisioning and PoE. And the next speaker I want to introduce to you is our SL50. Our SL50 is a high-performance SIP-enabled column speaker. It is equipped with 4 low-frequency driver units and 1 high-frequency driver unit. So our SL50 can give a very clear sound output. Moreover, our SL50 can perfectly analyze various sound effects of human voice and music. Secondly, our SL50 are reached the IP protection too, so it can be used in some extreme environment too. Yeah. And thirdly, our SL50 support 4G LTE network communication service models, which is very suitable for some outdoor places without network, and is also support the auto provisioning. Yeah. And in the next page, I will introduce our new product.
is the EI series safety intercom. It has 4 models, including EI DO5, EI W5, EI VO5, and EI AO5. They are designed to address the needs of various applications and installation types. All models deliver full duplex communication and secure access control for your VoIP system. EIDO5 and EOW5 both contain 2 core destinations, which can set up for different purpose use, such as information and some emergency buttons. And our EIW5 can be activated by a hand wave. You can just wave your hand, and the EIW5 can deliver the touch-free two-way communication without the additional touch to this device. Yeah. And in the next page, okay. EI also supports 2 installation methods, including the surface mounted and the flash mounted. And by the way, if you need to use the surface mounted, you need to use the accessory, our surface mount box SMBEZ. Yeah. And our EI series can integrate with a lot of devices, such as the alarm, smoke detector, speaker, access control, sensor, and the speakers. Yeah. Okay, and in the next page, I want to introduce you about our Accent SIP paging gateway. Our ZYCOO Accent SIP paging gateway is SIP-enabled IP audio device. It can convert voice streams to analog sounds for background music, public address, and intercom. The built-in amplifier passive speakers connected directly for output, and it can do 2-way intercom calls for some emergency or consulting purpose. And it can be integrated with a lot of devices. You can see this picture, like the IP cameras, smoke sensors, the other sensors, door magnets, or some even headphones and microphones. And the music can be streamed from ZYCOO IP Audio Center using the stream media to the Accent SIP paging gateway for the local decoding or playback. High definition stereo audio quality is guaranteed. Yeah.
And in terms of the X10, so 2 of the most common use case by using the X10. The first one would be using the X10 to connecting with the amplifier. So which means like if you your project already has a set of analog public address systems in it, and they want to upgrade to the IP base. So in this case scenario, I will suggest you to use the X10. One amplifier is only requiring you to use one X10, so which is like a cost-saving solutions. And then the second most common use case by using the X10 would be using it as a intercoms. So since the X10 is like more on a DIY side of device, you can connect the X10s with like with a button, and then we can connect with a microphone, and then also with a passive speaker. So that are the 3 major components that you need for an intercom, right? So if you are connecting these 3 components with the X10, you are basically building out a intercoms. And also the X10 supports two buttons, right? So you can connect two buttons for your DIY intercom device. So those are the two most common use case by using the X10.
Actually, I want to add one thing actually, please. So the speakers which you have already mentioned, these speaker doesn't require any amplifier or anything. It is a preamp, amplifier, everything is built in the speaker, right?
Yes, the previous speaker, like we introduced like the SQ10 or the ceiling speaker, the cabinet speaker, they have the built-in amplifier. Yes, that is correct. And also in the X10, we also have the built-in amplifiers in the X10. But I'm saying like the most common use case is to using the X10 to connect with the analog amplifier.
Analog devices, yes.
Yes,
the existing
analog devices. So it would
analog
be, so the X10 would be booked as like a transmitter, like a transmitter for translating the analog signal to the IP signal.
to the
Am I-
IP audio manager.
Yes, am I make it clear?
Yes, the analog device to an IP audio manager,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
need X10 in between.
Yes. And one amplifier needs one X10. So you cannot use one X10 for two amplifiers.
Yes, I got
Okay.
it. I got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me. Hi. Excuse me, can I ask some questions?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And up to now, are you still developing the microphone for all your public address?
Mhm.
Since the public address where you're still using your IP phone, do you still have on your roadmap that you are developing, or you have the plan for you to be able to, or you have your own microphone for public address?
So in by ZCAS, we don't have our microphone. You mean like those like small microphone, those connecting with the X10, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can connect on the X10 using any ordinary microphone that
Yes,
I can use for
yes.
paging system.
Yes. So you can use a microphone that is with the 3.5 mm jack interface. So that type of microphone it works.
How about how do you use it? Like a manual dialing for every speakers, or do you still using your software like the what do you call this? The software for the user, or the
This
operator?
IP audio dispatcher,
Yeah, the IP
the
audio
console,
center.
the dispatch console.
dispatch console.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can use, I mean, if you would just want to dial another device, or you need to like do a broadcasting or like paging, besides the IP audio centers, you can also use a PBX, like a IP PBX for paging. That also works. But
Yeah. That's what we're doing today. But what we're looking for, the client was we're looking for a microphone for easy. Instead of dialing this, I'm going to use to lift my not to lift my IP phone, but to use my microphone for me to page any of the speakers that I install or that I deploy.
Yeah, in this case, you can use the IP audio centers, and you just like going to address all the devices on the IP audio centers, like including the phones, the speakers, and also the X10 if you need to use one, and then using the phones or the microphone for paging.
Okay, but do you have any plan for you to develop your own microphone?
I will add to this Mr. Jackie's comment that you can use, I think, a USB microphone like from ProMate to address to that. You can use the audio dispatcher and use the external USB microphone like from ProMate or some other.
Yes, I understand that thing, but the client is looking for a microphone that with the that's with the dialer in dial pad on the phone on the microphone that you can easily dial, or you can easily press the number you want to page on the system, not just using an ordinary microphone and then using your console. But it's easy to use that. But the client is looking for a microphone related or primarily for paging system, not just for
with the
third
zones
party.
and the buttons on the microphone.
Yeah. I understood. So actually, we are working on the microphone right now, and I believe that product's going to be hopefully this year. Will be releasing
Okay.
this
Hello,
year.
Emily.
Is it awkward for them to use the handset or using a USB? If you're going using the spots console, then you give them a mic using using the USB. It's not.
Yeah, I know. Like it is kind of like inappropriate to using like
It's like a
USB,
patching system for the. It's like you're doing some patches for the system. What they were looking for is a real mic to dial or to page or any speakers you have deployed.
Yeah, understood.
Hello. Hello, Emily.
Yes.
Yes. Pardon. Yeah.
Thank you
Good
very
evening.
much.
With regards inline to Sir Jack inquiry, Peter provide me some information that we will have on the roadmap exactly the inquiry of Sir Jack. So we will provide an IP phone, which is there's a goose mic, something like that. So
Yes.
is it
Yes.
yeah, I mean that information from Peter before is we are doing on our roadmap for this year, right?
Yes. That product will be launching this year. The IP phone with goose mic, the goose neck
Okay.
mic. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Sir Jack, hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Just remember, we are integrating an IP PBX with an IP public address.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Both
sir.
of them are using single handset for paging and receiving calls, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the thing is the good thing is you have the microphone with the handset within.
Yes.
Yes.
As of now,
I think it's much
that is
more better.
actually with our SIP mic, we can use that also as SIP mic. But with X10, if we will use the analog type of microphone, so we can use also using this X10. But if
Yeah,
we
I
want to
understand
use
that. I understand that, sir.
okay. With regards to the Goose mic plus the IP phone, ZYCOO provide to us that they have on the roadmap. So hopefully they launch it within the year. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
we will. Yeah. Actually, I already got the demo the products like last week, and we will be like testing and like doing more integration on these products, and we will be launching this product within this year.
Okay. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Jack.
very much.
No
Thank you very
no
much.
problem.
And thank you, sir. RJ, are you RJ?
Yes, sir. From PBGI.
Okay, thank you very much, sir RJ.
All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Let's
Thank you very much,
continue.
ZYCOO.
Okay, let me continue sharing. Okay, and the next product I want to introduce you is our SIP phones, including H81 and H83. Our H83 support LCD, color, screen, and full-line SIP accounts. And while the H81 support black and white screen and support two-line SIP accounts. Yeah, so that's all about our ZYCOO products line. Yeah. And in the next part, my partner will introduce you about our ZYCOO software. Yeah.
All right, and I will take on the software part. So let's take a look on the software that we have. So for the let's look at from the left to right. So first one, we got the IP audio center. So that is the system, the engine of the whole solution. And then we have the dispatch console. So the console, it is a software application. So you're going to download and install on your desktop or on your laptop. And then we have the dispatch apps. So let's look into, get into detail one by one here. Before we move on to the software, we need to make it clear. So there are two user roles here. So for the first one, we get the admins, the administrator. So the administrator would be the person or persons who will be taking care of the IP audio centers. So this person is going to doing all the device configurations and checking, like doing the technical things. So checking the logs and saving the data, etc. So that is the job for the administrator. And then we have the operator. So the operator is going to be the persons who are going to use the dispatch console and the dispatch apps. So the operator, he or she does not require any the technical backgrounds. So as long as they know how to use the computer, it will be fine. And then the IP audio centers. So as I mentioned, it is a systems. You can install it on a hardware server, like on premise, or the cloud-based server or virtual machine. So if you are installing on the cloud servers, you're going to use like on like AWS, like Amazon cloud server or Microsoft cloud server. You're going to use the Docker commands to download the package and install it on the cloud server. And then for the on-premise, so you're going for this on-premise server, you're going to download the ISO file and then install it on your local on-premise server. And then virtual machine. So generally speaking, if you are like officially get into a project, we do not suggest you to use virtual machine, and we all know that virtual machine is not stable. And if you only like doing some testing, like in your labs or at your homes, in your office, so using the virtual machine would be a good idea. And then besides these three type of installation methods, we also provide the IAS L100, the IP audio servers. So as Kenny mentioned it in the previous slide, this server provides you the open box to use feature. All you need to do is to open the box and then plug in the Ethernet cables, power cord cables, and then it is ready to go. Then on the IP audio centers, so all the devices is going to register on the IP audio centers, and you are going to define the paging groups or the paging zones within the IP audio center as well. For example, like for our IP audio centers, we support unlimited number of paging zones, so you can do like your first floor for one zone, and then your second floor for another zone, and then your third floor for another zone for easier management. And then also you're going to create the dispatch user, which is the operators within the IP audio center as well. And then all the devices besides the IP cameras are going to use the SIP account. So the same ways or the same method as using the IPPBX. So you're going to like creating a whole bunch of SIP accounts, and then you're going to dispatch one SIP account for one device. Like I'm going to dispatch 1001 for my speaker 1, and then 1002 for my speaker 2. So that is basically how the IP audio center works. Then we have the dispatch console. So the dispatch console, it is a software application. It supports the Windows version, the Mac OS, and also Linux. And then
excuse me, sorry, on the last slide which you mentioned SIP accounts, actually these are the zones, right? Now you can use it as a zoning.
Yes. So after you create the SIP accounts, you're going to create a zones. Like we let's assuming that we have zone A, zone B, and zone C. I'm going to dispatch the devices, the accounts into different zones.
Okay. But using the same account.
Yes, using the same accounts. But
okay, so you can just click on edit, and edit, it will give me the option to create the zones.
Yes. So you can like click on the zones and then deleting the device. So if you like removing a speaker in floor A, I mean like floor 1, so you can delete the device in that zones.
Okay, understood.
Hello, Emily.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with regards to IP audio center, so there are client questions regarding with the what if the IP audio center server
Mhm.
is uh, there's a problem on the IP audio center server. I mean, it is totally shut down or there's
Mhm.
a problem on the
Mhm.
hardware. So what if we will install
Mhm.
on the another server, so we
Mhm.
will use the same license activation or we will provide a new activation key?
Okay, so that is due to the hot standby feature, right? So we're going to have two set of servers running simultaneously, just in case like the primary server crash or it downs, and then my backup server can pick up all the tasks, right? So
Okay.
in
So
this uh-huh.
it works with the different platform. Like for example, the primary will be physical, then secondary will be cloud for the HA.
Mm-hmm. So if the primary is working functionally, then the backup one won't be woke. So it will be like just waiting.
Okay. With regards to the platform, if it's for example, the primary will be a physical server, and then
Mm-hmm.
the secondary HA server will be a cloud server. Can we do that in the different platform?
No. So if the two servers, so there are like several requirements on the server, and
Okay.
if we are using the hardware servers, the backup server also has to be a hardware servers, and also they have to have the same capacity, because like the backup server need to able to pick up all the tasks running on the primary, right? So if your backup server has like a lower capacity, like it has a fewer RAMs or like it has a lower memories, then in that case, the backup server won't be able to pick up everything from the primary. So
So
they had
technically speaking, it should be identical. It should be identical in terms of the specification for those primary and secondary servers.
it has to be a hardware server and they have to be the same capacity.
Okay. How about the cloud server? For example, primary is cloud, then the HA will be a cloud server also. Can we still do that for the high availability?
To be honest, I haven't have any question raised that by like if you are having using a cloud server and you still need to get a backup. So like the hot standby feature is more, I think it's like more using on a hardware servers, and I don't think they support it in the cloud server.
Okay. Actually, with regards to the servers,
Mm-hmm.
most enterprise client has their own cloud servers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there might be a scenario that they will use these cloud servers to put a
Mm-hmm.
virtual machine to add this IP audio center. Then it will reside on that cloud server.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if our ruling will be identical, so if you are running with a cloud server, then
Mm-hmm.
you must have high availability servers, also a cloud server, something like that. So if you can check on that, because most likely for the enterprise clients or end
Mm-hmm.
users, so technically they are using already these cloud servers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. I absolutely, I will check on the cloud servers for the hot standby feature on that. And then also in terms of the license that you mentioned, if you are using the hot standbys, you need to purchase a additional set of license. So you cannot use like the same set of license for two server.
Okay. Clear on that.
Okay.
How about if the primary server will be totally distracted, then the client will install again on a different server. So technically, they can still use the old license.
Yes, that is one of the possibilities. So for our, like, due to our company's policies on if the, like, our clients' hardware server damage, and then they need to use the old license on their new machines, we do allow our clients to apply for a special applications for once. So one set of license is only able to apply for once. So if your, like, I mean, like, if your client's hardware server just like booking for many times, we cannot do it, but you can apply for once.
Okay, so if the primary server then it totally broken, then they need to inform us, then we will provide a new, or I mean the old license activation, then it should be done once, correct?
Yes, yes. So you will be sending me your clients information, like their purchase numbers, or like their MAC numbers, etc. And then we will be like generating a new set of license for you.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, with regards to the servers, so it is not, or it is unusual that every time you need to create new servers, because the server is something like distracted, something like that. So yeah, noted on that. Thank you.
Okay, no problems. Then let's move on to the console. So the we are left. Okay, here we go. So the console, we support Windows, Mac OS, and also Linux. So let's take a look on this interface from the top to bottom. So on the top, we got like you guys can see the speakers, intercoms, phones, cameras, all those icons. That means the device type icon. So if you click on the speaker, it's going to show you all the speakers. If you click on the intercom, it's going to show you all the intercom devices that is registered within these systems, and also within the authorities of the operators who can manage this device, these zones. And then right through the middle center areas, we have all the devices that is listed in the middle center areas, and each device you can see the SIP number, and then we have the device name, and then also have the device status, such as like I got both devices offline, so they are in the gray color. If the device is ideal, like they are running normally, and they are ready to work to perform some tasks, so they will be in the green color. And then on the left navigation bar, we have the consoles, music, meeting, tasks, and the alarms. So the console would be the main interface that we are building now. And then if you click on the music, that is going to be the music library. So you can uploading or recording the audio files, and then creating the playlist. Like you can create different playlists, one for Monday, one for Tuesday, and one for like Wednesday, etc. To create different playlists. And then also like the alarms files, the alarm audio files is also going to be like uploading to the music section. Then we have meeting. So the meeting has to be operating from the main panel. So you're going to like choosing the different devices, and then click on the meeting button on the bottom, and then going to invite you to a meeting room. And then tasks. So for tasks, we have 3 types of tasks, and I will giving more details on the tasks in the next slides. Then also we have alarms, and on the bottom navigation bar, the left side, we got the telephony features, including like calls, intercoms, buckets, please, monitor, whisper. So those are the basic IP PBX feature. As you guys know, that ZYCOO has been embedded in in IPPBX for more than 12 years now. So we, on this solution, the IP audio solutions, we also integrated the whole set of IPPBX into these solutions, which means like if you're using the centers, you're actually going to get two sets of systems, the paging systems and also the telephony systems. And then on the right side, we have the public address feature, which includes play. So going to like choosing the devices and click on the play, choose the playlist to play music. Then we have the page. Then we have the alarms. So on our systems, we have, I think we have like 8 or 9 default alarms audio files for you guys, including like tsunamis, earthquake, fire alarms, etc. But you can also uploading your own alarms audio files into the systems. And then we have the meetings volume for like adjusting the volumes. And then we have the stop. And let's look at the right of the video intercom. So we have these like small windows on the right side called the video intercoms. So that is actually expandable panel, and you can expand the video intercoms into a separate windows, and it can host at most 16 video streaming. So the video intercom is more using when you're using the video linkage. So for example, I got a intercom here. I got a video intercom right here, right? So when I click on the buttons on the video intercoms, it will be automatically pulling the video camera stream to the video intercoms. And if your intercom is also connecting to like a another IP cameras, it will be also showing in the video intercoms panel, and it can show at most 16 video streaming at the same time.
Excuse me.
Hello, Emily.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I just have questions on your alarm. I already asked this before, but it's not that clear. How can I integrate my fire alarm system to your IP audio dispatch console? In every public address they are required to attach this to any fire alarm control panel.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, there's a fire alarm, you can send a voice evacuation or something like a warning.
Mm-hmm.
And what equipment that we're going to add for us to be able to integrate this to any fire alarm system?
So it would be like totally depends on the type of fire alarm system that you have. So like in China here, for the fire alarm system we use a module. We call the mobile module. So that actually it is controlled by a joy contact relay. So it will be like a on and off.
Yes.
A on and off relay. In this case, if you are having like the similar type of module, we can connect this module with the X10. So
you just need X10 for a dry contact. We call it a dry contact, just a simple dry contact and connect to X10.
Yeah.
Where specifically we can connect on X10 for us to be able to integrate or to receive any alarm from the alarm panel. Actually, the alarm panel sending only general alarm.
Give me 1 second. Let me go back to the X10. So can you see that the X10, we have the relays. So on the red area from the
yes, that's it.
So this is the dry contact relay. So if your module has it is using the dry contact relay, so it can connect with the X10. And when your module, your dry contact relay is triggered it, it activates, it will send a signal to the X10, and the X10 can send the signals to our systems.
Okay, thank you.
No
Is
problem.
the signal, is the alarm sound can be customized, like for example, a voice or any audio?
You can, in terms of the audios, you can, so there are like several ways that you can do it. So you can upload your own audio
Okay.
files.
Warning. Okay.
You can upload it or you can record it. We also support the record feature on the systems,
Okay.
or you can do the TTS, the text to speech. So you're going to type all the sentences, the words at first, and you will convert into a audio.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problems. Okay.
Okay, then my partner.
Sorry,
take a
one
break.
question. This audio dispatch console,
Uh-huh.
can this application be installed in the audio manager, the same machine?
No, actually. So let me explain it in this way.
This is the
If
client application, right?
Yes, that is the client
audio,
application.
and then audio manager is the server application.
So the audio center, right? So this one, right?
Audio center, yes. This
So
is the server application.
So that the audio centers, you're going to install it on a hardware server or the cloud-based server, and this center is actually a web-based. So it's going to provide you the IP address, and you use a browser to open it. So it is a web-based.
Yes, I understand. Okay. Okay.
And the dispatch console
Right.
is the client, the client
Yes,
application.
yes. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you are not using the virtual machine, technically speaking, you cannot install the centers and the console on the same machine.
Okay, let my partner take a break, and I will continue to introduce. And the next software is our IP audio dispatch app. This is a simple mobile application which can be installed on iPhone or Android. In order to perform some basic operations more conveniently, such as playing some background music or check some status of our devices. Yeah. So our operator can operate these operations anywhere and time. So it's a very convenient application. Yeah. And our last software is our SAD tool, and its full name is Search Active IP Audio Device Tool. It can realize some functions of searching and displaying online ZYCOO network devices and exporting devices configuration and batch login, batch upgrade, and it can also centralize configuration. Yeah. So it's a very convenient little tool.
Yeah, it's very helpful if you're going to have a large scale of project, and then using the SAD tool will be able to helping you like listing all the device IP address, so you don't need to like manually checking on the actual hardware device for the IP address. And then if you need to do like a bulk upgrade, so you can use the SAD tool for selecting the firmwares and then upgrading in once. So you don't need to like do it like one by one. Like if you have like 200 speakers, you need to do like 200 times. That would be like terrifying. And this page would be like selecting the type of device. By the way, the SAD tool is only able to search the ZCAS device. So we cannot like search for a firmware IP phones, or like we cannot like search for another branch of devices. It only ZCAS enabled devices. And then you're going to select the type of device, such as like if you're using the component speaker, so you're going to choose the component speakers, and then selecting the firmware, and then do the box upgrades. And I'll take on the reference. So the feature here, I have a tables of features, including like we got a I mean, like a lot of features within the IP audio solutions, including the multicast or the P2P. So the multicast and P2P stand for peer-to-peer. So those are the two options that you can use if you are not using the IP audio center or not using any kind of server. So you can still use the multicast for one-way audio paging, or you can use the P2P for a two-ways communication call. So the difference between the multicast and the P2P would be the multicast, you can send a one-way audio to multiple destinations, to multiple speakers. But the P2P, it is a one-to-one. So going to be like a peer-to-peer communications. So would be like one device is calling to another. And they have to be on the same network, obviously. Then we have the intercom calling. What else? We have the multi-user privilege. And then service priorities, I will giving more details on the features in the next slide. So let's take a look. So I have picked out several features here for the introductions, but we got like more features, more than this, like the 22 that I listed out. So on the first one, we got the paging groups. So it provides you the flexibilities and scalabilities to for pagings and for zone pagings or group pagings. So since our systems, it supports unlimited numbers of paging zones, so you can create as many zones as you need, and then choosing the specific zones such as like classroom A, classroom B for a specific paging. So I need to find student Emily, right? You need to go to the main office. So we can do the paging there. Then the next one, we have the background music. So our IP audio center, it supports up to the 44.1 kHz, the simple rate. And then also the 320 MP3 music files. And for tasks, so the tasks on the IP audio dispatch console, we support 3 types of tasks. So for the first one, we got the timetable. So the timetable, it is a repeated task. So you can select a time period, such as we are in August. So I'm going to select August 1st to August 30th. Within this month, I'm going to play a music every day, like 8 a.m. in the mornings from only Monday to Friday. We can do it. So we'll be selecting only Monday to Fridays, and at a specific time at 8 a.m. we're going to play a music, a morning music at a specific area. So we can play only at classroom A or only at classroom B. So we can selecting the zones or the devices. And then the second type of task is the dial number task. So the dial number task is actually a preset task. So you're going to create the task at first, and then we're going to use the task later. So which means, like, for example, I don't know like when the earthquake will come, right? So, but I can prevent it. So I can set up a earthquake emergency announcement, and telling like announcing people that do not use the elevator, we need to use the stairs. So I'm going to create this task first, And then I'm going to put this task. So each task, it has a specific task number, such as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or another numbers. So I'm going to put this number code into my IP phone function key. So when the earthquake, it will comes. So I can just like click on the function keys on my IP phone, then I can run away. The task will be like automatically activated after you click on the buttons. So that is the dial number task. And besides like the IP phone's function key, you can also put it into a button, like a emergency buttons, and put it on your desk. So if the emergency comes, you can like press the buttons and leave. So that is the dial number task. Then the last one would be the immediate task. So as the name suggests, it is a immediate task. So it will be immediately activated after you create a task. Then we have the zip paging. So within the dispatch consoles, you can select like different devices and click on the page buttons, and it will be automatically dial to the device and for paging. Then we have the emergency alarms. So we have in our systems, we have the default emergency alarms audio files installed, and you can also uploading your own emergency alarms files into the system as well. So there are 3 places that you can use the emergency alarms. So the first one would be using the dispatch console. And then the second one would be using the dispatch apps. We also support the alarmed feature on the dispatch app. And the third one would be, I just mentioned it. So you can use like to work as a dial number task and put it into a buttons, and then as the emergency alarms. Then we on our systems, we will also support the dispatch consoles for the pre-recorded message. And also the dispatch app, it also support the pre-recorded message. So you're going to like create a task, or like in the music library section. So you can click on the pre-recorded and then start to speak, and then you can check on the audio when you finish. Then also we have the TTS, those the text to speech. So if you don't like for recording your own voice, you can use the TTS. So for TTS, for overseas version, we support Google's engine. And for volume control, so that is, there are also 2 places that you can adjust the volume. For the first one would be using the dispatch consoles, and or use the dispatch apps for adjusting the volume. Then we have the intercom call. Okay. And the video intercoms is similar. By the way, the all the intercoms. One moment. Okay. So by the way, all the intercoms, we support the third parties IP cameras, such as like dark horse or Hikvision's IP cameras. As long as they are RTSP supported, we can connect the intercoms with the IP cameras. And when I press the buttons on the intercoms, it will be also pulling the connected IP cameras video streaming and showing on the dispatch console.
Okay, and the next feature is the call monitor. Okay, and the call monitor can be used with our IP phone calls and intercom calls. It is used by the dispatch user to monitor the call conversation of two calling parties when it is necessary, just like this picture. And the next feature is the whisper spy. It's like the call monitor. It means that when a device is in call, and if the user uses the whisper spy feature and allowed by the device's number to whisper spy this call, and he can hear the conversation and talk to the whisper spy user, but the other party won't hear this conversation, this voice. Yeah. And next feature is the bar spy. It means that when a device is in a call and the dispatch user can use the bar spy feature and allowed by the IP phone or intercom device's number to barge into the call to establish a three-way calling. Yeah, and the next feature is call split. It means that when an IP phone or intercom device is in call and the dispatch user can dial the call splitted feature code and followed by the IP phone or intercom device's number to split the call with the other party and establish a new call to the dispatch user. Okay, and next feature is meeting. Just like the name, the dispatch user can use this feature to add some users to join this meeting. And you can also kick out, mute, unmute other users. Yeah. And the next feature is recording. It means that if the calls has been recorded and there will be a play button available, and you can click on the button to review the call recordings. Yeah. And the next feature is our centralized management. That means our IP audio center can provide a centralized IP audio endpoints, auto provisioning or management. Some features such as the background music, the intercom, emergency broadcasting can all be centralized managed. Yeah. And in the next page, it was the multi-user privilege feature. It means that our administrator can create multiple IP audio dispatch users in the IP audio center system. And the administrator can be enable or disable this.
Yes, and in terms of the multi-user privilege so all the IP PBX feature that we just mentioned, that like the call monitor, whisper, sprocket, all those kind of IP PBX feature are built on top of the multi-user privilege. So we have the highest level 1 to the lowest level 2. On the operator parameter here, we call the access level from the highest 1 to the lowest 12. So if the operator who has a higher levels can operate the call monitors or whispers or buckets features to the operator who has a lower privilege level. So all the IP PBX feature is built on top of the multi-use privilege. And then we have the service priorities. So of course, as a public address systems, we have to set up the service priority here. We have the highest priorities of the SIP paging. Then we have the next one would be the alarms, and we have intercoms, and then the trigger pagings and the background music as the lowest service priorities. So for example, if you are if your speaker is playing the background music and then you have a zip paging come in, the background music will be automatically paused. And then after the zip paging is done, the background music will be recontinued to normal. So that is how the service priority works. And for APIs, we have all the APIs interface available for for integrations. So if you would like to integrating with a third party's systems or third-party software, we have the whole set of APIs available, and it is free to use. Then we got the IP telephony. As I mentioned, that we have integrated the whole set of IP telephony features into the IP audio solutions, and then we support the zip chunks and unlimited number of zip chunks that you can register into the systems for making like outbound calling. And if you only using the inbound calling, that you won't need to require you to use a zip chunks. Then we got the hot standbys, and we answered most of the questions in the previous slide for what is a hot standby and how it works. But I still need to check on the cloud servers on the hot standby feature. And then we have the advantage. So let's comparing to the analog public address systems. So for the, as we know that the analog public address systems, they do require you to, it actually is like a two whole set of public address system, right? So for the analog one, you'll need to have the amplifiers. You need to have a central amplifiers, and your analog speakers going to connect with the central amplifiers. So if you are having like a brand new building project, so you're going to need like multiple central amplifiers, and then have the analog speakers. Then if you are using the IP public address systems, in this case, you won't need requiring you to use the amplifiers, and then all of the ZYCOO endpoints besides the column speaker, they support the PoE. So PoE here, I mean both PoE and PoE plus. So they support PoE. So all you need it is a PoE cable, like a Cat5 or Cat6 cable to connect the device to a PoE switch. Then we using the IPs, we support the remote control and also central management. We can like view the device status from our desktop applications or from our mobile apps to seeing whether or not the speaker is running, it is playing music. So we can check on it in terms of if you're using the analog public address systems, you won't be able to check like the speaker status. So if you have a broken speaker in the middle of nowhere, that you won't be able to check it. And also by using the analog. Okay, and then by using the analog PA systems. And then in terms of the paging songs, it is expensive and very costly to expand a paging songs using the public address systems. But if you're using our solutions, it will be easily just need to create a new songs in the IP audio centers and then dispatching the devices into these songs. That is like very easy and convenient to do. And then comparing our solutions to the other public IP address systems, I would say. So the biggest advantage we have is the zip enabled devices. All of our devices, they are SIP enabled. We integrated the devices with the SIP protocol, which is a standard protocol. So you can register our
Let's do like. I just move around. Nothing much. She get food.
So you can register our SIP, our devices to another SIP server, such as say IPPBX. You can also do it. And also for our IP audio centers, you can register another branch of SIP enabled devices into our systems. Although if you are registering another branch of SIP devices, there are some limitations on the device. So it depends. So it will be depending on both ways, depending on the device that you are registering in, the type of device, and also on our platforms. So more than likely, if you are registering a third-party SIP devices into our IP audio centers, you can also use it for paging, but more than likely it won't be able to perform like background music or another kind of feature. And then for industrial type, so I would say it's like pretty much anywhere that you can think of, I believe our solutions can apply to. So for like transportation, so we done a lot of like projects for bus stations, subway stations, airports, train stations, etc. And for healthcare, we have done some like school, not school, like I mean like hospital and clinic care project. And education would be school, campuses, and college. And retail would be like supermarket, shopping malls, and we have the manufacturer, then city surveillance. And we have prepared a field case study.
Yeah. Okay, and the first case is about Philippines epidemic prevention, and this case background is about that because of the COVID-19, the Philippines government want to buy some speakers to have some announcement, and they buy a lot of IC30, and there are a lot of pictures that our workers are working in the street, and we use the IC30 for wide and loud paging for some announcement. And the advantage of these cases is that we can remote control this IC30 to control the volume to reduce some occurrence of disturbing the residents. And also we use the IC30 for live paging, and we use IP phone for telephony. And in the next case is about the Taiwan Decathlon shopping mall. As these pictures, you can see we installed some indoor speakers in all area of Decathlon. Okay. Oh, we use the SW15 cabinet speakers, yeah. And the highlights of this case is that the speaker can broadcast different audios for different regions. And it can support multiple level permission allocation, which can be managed by the Decathlon HQ, and all the points are powered by the PoE. And The Decathlon speakers can also play some scheduled music or for the customers, and it's also support the central management. Yeah.
All right, and the next case is the post selection center that we done. So in this case, it actually a X10 solutions. So for the post selection center, they already have the analog PA systems installed, and they want to upgrade to the IP base. So in these solutions, we provided the X10 as with the IP audio centers as the whole solutions for so each analog amplifier is going to connect with one X10, and for upgrading to the IP base. Then the next case, it is a exhibition project that we done in Vietnam. So in this project, we also use the SH30 horn speaker, and as you guys can see, since the horn speaker, it is a outdoor speaker, so you can use it in the outdoor environment, such as the middle picture. We hang the speaker in the tree. And then for these project highlights, we have the IP audio centers, and then I believe in this project they also have the IP PBX systems as well. And then we using the IP audio centers for like announcements, and also for background music through the network horn speakers. Okay, and that is all the case that we have prepared to share for today. So let's see if we have any question now. So question time.
So this today's meeting, this training was for the sales, right? So tomorrow's session will be more technical.
Yes, for tomorrow's sections will be more technical. So for today's training will be like more on the marketing and the sales side in